Generally speaking, when we build a steel structure, it's outside. And we don't have the physical constraints and space constraints that we have inside the LEO space here. We are literally building a ship in a bottle. And not just one, but 3 of them. It's very, very tight. It has some very unique opportunities for us. And quite frankly, it's very difficult. But we're working with Parsons Steel Erectors out of Tucson. They've done an excellent job of pre-planning along with the folks from B2 and my company. And we're very fortunate that we have them on the job. We have a great superintendent on the job from Parsons Steel. And we're putting the pieces and parts together in our heads before we actually got to the job site. It's made a tremendous difference and things are going very, very well for us right now. In structural steel, we're usually looking at 1/4 of an inch in tolerances. Here in the columns behind us that support the structure, we're looking for a 1/16 of an inch of tolerance east to west and a 1/16 of an inch in tolerance north to south in elevation. And the reason for that is the electronic scales or load cells that sit on top of each of the columns. Very, very precise instruments, and they all have to be reading the same. And every piece of steel has to line up because we have no tolerances in here. Because of the measurements that we have to take and the precision in which they have to be made, we just don't have any room for slack, and we're not using a torch to cut any holes open. In the tray behind me, or the hillside slope that's behind me that's under construction right now, there are 3,500 pieces of steel and approximately 4,000 bolts. We have a great team, and this project has been 2 years in the planning between the engineering company, between the general contractor and the researchers that are doing this. And all this has to be coordinated with the folks here at B2. We are really, really limited, as you can see, on space. We're within a foot of the catwalk at 24 feet above our heads. We're within a foot of the wall over on the south end of the building. And we're about 1.5 feet off the columns and the exterior walls on this job. We're picking pieces of steel up 23 feet in the air that weigh over 10,000 pounds. We don't have much margin for error. Very, very different than what we're used to outside. Well, when this project is completed, each one of these hillside slopes is going to be over 1 million pounds. And the columns are sitting directly over the columns in the basement below us. You talked about constraints before. There are certain areas where we can't set the crane and certain areas where we can't put any loads on the floor because we could wind up 13 feet down in the basement.